Hey guys, Jennifer here and welcome to the Family Fudge. Today I'm back with 4 awesome school lunch ideas to share with you, but this time they're all Thanksgiving themed. Now, some of the lunches this week include my kids' favorite lunch foods, the ones they look forward to every year, while other lunches this week have kind of an unexpected Thanksgiving theme. Of course, all of the lunches this week are really fun, but they're not difficult to make at all. So stay tuned and I'll show you how I put them all together. Good morning, guys, and happy Tuesday. Now, yesterday was actually Veterans Day, so there was no school. So that means today's lunch is the first school lunch of the week. And for today's lunch, I thought it would be really fun to try out these new lunch boxes. Hashtag not sponsored. I've actually had these lunch boxes for a while, and I just decided today is the day to test them out. Most of the items I use in my lunches can be found on Amazon, and there's always a link in the description box below if you want to go check out anything I use. I get so many questions about my nails in every video, I thought I would give you a closer up look. I don't know if you can tell, but this is actually a navy blue and burgundy plaid pattern with some rhinestones, of course, because I love things that sparkle. Now back to today's lunch. Today I'm going with sort of an unexpected Thanksgiving theme. I'm going to be making a sandwich called the Moist Maker. And if you were a fan of the show Friends back in the day, you'll probably know exactly what sandwich I'm talking about. And check out these cool Friends napkins, you guys. On here you can find the famous water fountain. There's the crazy turkey from the Thanksgiving episode. There's even a smelly cat on there. Now I'm curious, let me know in the comments down below how many of you guys are actually seeing the show Friends, or if you're a fan of Friends, let me know. Because I'm pretty sure I've seen just about every episode. So now back to that Moist Maker sandwich. Now I do want to make this as close to how they made it in the show as possible, but I also want it to be kid friendly too. So basically that means instead of using a whole grain fancier bread for this sandwich, I'm going to go ahead and use some good old Wonder Bread instead. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the Moist Maker sandwich, it's something that can be made with Thanksgiving leftovers, but there's a special ingredient and a special way of putting it together, and it requires 3 pieces of bread per sandwich. So to make this sandwich, I'm going to start by toasting 2 pieces of the bread, but with the 3rd piece of bread, I'm not going to toast it at all, but instead I'm going to dip the bread on both sides into some turkey gravy. Now I know that might sound really weird, but this is exactly how it's done in the show. And apparently it's this gravy-soaked bread that keeps this sandwich moist, hence the name Moist Maker Sandwich. So now I'm going to set this gravy bread aside, and to the 2 slices of toasted bread, I'm going to go ahead and add a thin layer of mayonnaise on both sides, followed by some lettuce, some thick-cut turkey slices. I'll top those with a little bit of whole berry cranberry sauce. Then on top of that, a little bit of stuffing. This sandwich has all of the flavors of Thanksgiving in one. And it really is the perfect sandwich to make the day after Thanksgiving with all of your leftovers. And now for that secret ingredient. I'm going to take the slice of gravy-soaked bread and add that right here. And then I'm going to very carefully top it off with this other part of the sandwich. So we're left with a really big triple-decker sandwich. Now, 1 whole sandwich is definitely more than my kids need, so I will go ahead and cut this up so I can get it into the lunch boxes. And to make sure that these sandwiches don't fall apart, I'm also going to be adding in these really cute Happy Thanksgiving pics. I'll go ahead and add these sandwiches right into here. For today's fruit, I'm going to be adding in some apples, and I am going to go ahead and cube these up. That way they fit better in the lunchbox. And of course, to prevent these from turning brown, I always recommend sprinkle them with a little bit of lemon juice. Now to go along with this, I'm also going to add a little piece of corn. I think that is a perfect choice for a Thanksgiving lunch. Now in the center of the lunchbox, I'm also going to add a scoop of goldfish crackers, and these are the colorful ones. These little goldfish have the perfect colors for fall. And then last but not least, to go along with this Thanksgiving lunch, I really wanted to include something pumpkin flavored. But to make this quick and easy, I went ahead and picked up these pumpkin bites from Walmart. These are so cute and they're already ready to go, which makes them super convenient to just throw into the lunchbox. I'm gonna go ahead and put just 2 in each lunchbox. And there you have it, guys. There's everything in today's lunch. Hey guys, and happy Wednesday. Now I have to be honest with you guys, not all of my kids loved the Moist Maker sandwich from yesterday. So for today's lunch, I'm making something I know that they love. I'm going to be making my really cute salami-filled turkey sandwich. Now I've been making this one for years and it's actually really easy to make, but it does take a little bit of time. So for each of the sandwiches, I started by cutting out a large circle. You're going to need 2 of those per sandwich. Then I'm also going to be cutting out some smaller circles, and I'm going to be needing 2 of those per sandwich as well. I do go ahead and save all of the bread crusts. They don't go to waste. Now, the filling of these turkey sandwiches is not actually turkey. Instead, it's basically a salami and cheese sandwich. But each of these sandwiches is actually going to be getting 2 pieces of cheese. And to get the shape I want, I'm going to be using this sort of round but scalloped cookie cutter. And of course, if you don't have this, you can also just cut these shapes out by hand. So now to build these sandwiches, I'm going to start by adding a little bit of mayo to each of these big circles. Next, I'm adding 2 slices of salami, followed by 2 slices of cheese. And with the cheese, I actually want this to hang over the edge just a bit. That way it'll look like the feathers of the turkey when we're done. Next, I'm going to add the other circle of bread right on top, and then I can get started on the face of our turkey. For his face, I'm going to take 2 of these smaller circles of bread, add mayo to those, and then I'm going to take the scraps of the cheese. I saved these when I cut out the larger pieces of cheese. Then I'm going to close that up. So basically it's a mini cheese sandwich. Then I'm going to add a tiny bit of mayonnaise to the back of the sandwich, and this just helps it stick to the other part of the sandwich. For the turkey's eyes, I'm going to add 2 eye sprinkles. And I do like to kind of press those into the bread so that they don't fall off. For the turkey's beak, I just cut out a little V shape out of cheese. And then for the turkey's wattle, or that red thing that hangs down on its face, I just cut a little strip of salami. And there you have it, guys. That's how I make my basic turkey-shaped sandwich. For the fruit in today's lunch, I'm adding a combination of strawberries and grapes. And then for the vegetable, I'm adding in some broccoli. I feel like it's been a long time since I've put broccoli in a lunch. Of course, I am including a little bit of ranch for the kids to dip it in. And then for this special treat today, a Thanksgiving classic, I'm going to be adding in a mini pecan pie. And then finally, I'm going to fill in the empty spaces surrounding our sandwich with goldfish crackers. So that's going to be the snack for today's lunch as well. And then to drink, the kids are just going to take their water bottles. Hey guys, and welcome to Thursday. So today's lunch is going to be something really different. I'm definitely going to be using the Ami lunch boxes today because some of this lunch is going to be served hot, but most of the food in today's lunch is going to be inspired by a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Of course, there is the book version that I have here, but I know a lot of you have probably seen the animated version as well. Let me know in the comments down below if you have, because if you have, you'll probably be thinking that this lunch is going to be kind of weird. And by weird, I mean that in the story, the kids put together their own Thanksgiving feast, and it doesn't include any traditional Thanksgiving foods. Now, as you can kind of see in this book, the first item that the kids and Snoopy prepare for Thanksgiving is toast with butter. So I went ahead and toasted up a regular piece of bread. Then I cut it into quarters so that it would fit better into today's lunch. Now, to go along with this bread, I'm also including a little container of butter. The kids will be able to take their little plastic knife thing and spread it on the bread right before they eat it. So then after Charlie Brown prepares the toast, the next thing that they prepare is popcorn. So I went ahead and just prepared some microwavable popcorn, and I'm going to add as much as I can into this section of the lunchbox. The next item that they add to their Thanksgiving feast is jelly beans. I don't know about you guys, but when I think of jelly beans, I don't think of Thanksgiving, I think of Easter. So I'm gonna go ahead and add just a few little jelly beans in here, not too many. And then the very last thing that they add into their Thanksgiving feast is pretzels. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a handful of these right over here. Now honestly you guys, that is everything that they prepare for their Thanksgiving meal. So as you can see in this book, Snoopy is very proud of their Thanksgiving feast, but not everyone agrees. There are some characters that are expecting things like turkey, mashed potatoes, and cranberry sauce instead. And I have to say, I think she's right. So to go along with this sort of crazy lunch, I'm also gonna be adding in some mashed potatoes. These are just some super creamy leftover mashed potatoes. I went ahead and heated them up and now I'm adding them into the lunchbox. And then to go with the mashed potatoes, I'm also adding in some good old turkey meatballs. These were just pre-cooked meatballs. You guys know we love those. I went ahead and heated these up and I added a little bit of gravy. I still had some gravy left over from Tuesday's lunch, so I just tossed the meatballs in that gravy and now I'm adding them to the potatoes. This should stay nice and hot in the thermos until lunchtime, and I'm pretty sure my kids will love it. The kids will have their water bottles, but I'm also going to be sending a little container of regular milk as well. So there you have it guys, 1 lunch down and 2 to go. Hey guys, and welcome to Friday! So before I get started on today's lunch, I wanted to let you guys all know that I'm so thankful for you. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the channel. I seriously appreciate you guys. Now if you'd like to, you can go ahead and let me know in the comments down below what you're most thankful for this year. And now on to today's lunch. Today I'm bringing back the Yum Box. Now I've been using these lunch boxes for almost a year and a half, I think. So they are well loved, but they're still going strong. So for today's lunch, I'm going to be making some peanut butter and jelly pressed sandwiches. My kids love pressed sandwiches and they especially love the Hello Kitty ones that I made last week. But of course this week, since we're going with a Thanksgiving theme, I'm going to be using an acorn shape, a leaf shape, and a turkey shape. So for these sandwiches, I'm going to go ahead and start with 6 slices of bread, which is going to be making about 3 sandwiches. So for the peanut butter today, I'm going to be using creamy peanut butter. And then instead of using regular jam, I thought for our Thanksgiving themed lunch, it would be really fun to use this apple cider flavored jam instead. So to make these sandwiches, I'm going to start by adding a very thin layer of peanut butter on 1 piece of bread. And then I have to let you guys know that I changed my mind about this apple jam. It's a lot chunkier than I thought it would be, so I don't think that's going to be the best choice for the pressed sandwiches. So instead I'm going to go ahead and use some good old strawberry jam. And now all I have to do is cut out all of the little sandwiches. And here's the tip you guys, if you add a little bit of food coloring to the cutter before you use it, the food coloring will show up on the bread and it'll make them look even better. So now that I have all of the little sandwiches done, it's time to move on to the fruit. And for today's lunch, I'm keeping it super simple. I'm going to make one of my mandarin orange little pumpkins. Of course, pumpkins are always great for Thanksgiving. And if you've never seen this trick before, it's really just a mandarin orange, and then I take a little piece of celery and I stick it down in the top to make it look like a pumpkin. Now in this back section of the lunchbox, I'm going to go ahead and add in some yogurt. I feel like it's been a long time since I've added yogurt to a lunch, so I think the kids will be excited to see this. And you guys, it's not just a regular yogurt. To go along with this Thanksgiving theme, I thought some pumpkin spice yogurt would be perfect. Now I do have to say, sometimes pumpkin flavored yogurt can be a little bit funky, but we do like this one from Trader Joe's. It's actually really good. Now in the center section of the lunchbox, I'm going to be adding in some goldfish crackers, and then I'm going to be adding in a very special treat. These are my 3 ingredient pumpkin muffins. Now I actually made a big batch of these yesterday. To make these, I'm going to start with 1 box of spiced cake mix. Now if you can't find this, you could also just use a regular plain vanilla cake mix, that would be fine. Then I'm going to be using an entire 15-ounce can of pureed pumpkin. But what I really like to do is add chocolate chips into mine. And I really prefer the semi-sweet mini chocolate chips. They are so tiny and cute, and I think they go really well into these muffins. But of course, if you're not a fan of the combination of chocolate and pumpkin, you can definitely leave them out. So in a bowl here, I've added my entire box of cake mix, my entire can of pumpkin, and about 1.5 cups of the chocolate chips, and that's it. Like I said, you don't need anything else. I'm just gonna mix this all together. Then I'm going to scoop them into some silicone lined muffin trays. And then right before I pop them into the oven, I'm also going to be adding an extra teaspoon of chocolate chips directly to the top. I think this makes them look like they came from a professional bakery. So now to make room for our muffin in the lunchbox, I did go ahead and combine some of our pressed sandwiches into one. And now there's just enough space for our muffin. And check it out, you guys. These muffins are completely cooled down. It's not exactly like a pumpkin pie, but it's definitely more dense and chewy than just a regular muffin would be. It's somewhere in between. Now to go along with this lunch, I also want to add in a cheese stick. Instead of adding a mozzarella cheese stick, I'm going to go with a cheddar cheese stick this time. And then I have a very special drink I want to add in today. A friend of mine from the Good to Grow company sent me some ultra rare Care Bear toppers, which of course I am super thankful for. You guys know I love these toppers. And check out these little boats. These are especially designed for Good to Go toppers so the kids can actually play with them. And there you have it, guys. Now let me know in the comments down below. Of course, I always want to know, out of all the lunches from the week, which one was your favorite? Thank you so much for watching. And you guys, don't forget to come back for tomorrow's video. I'm changing things up a bit. And for tomorrow's video, I'm going to be taking you guys on a Christmas house tour. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm actually going to be posting it earlier in the morning. Thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.